Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. EJ rages at Leo and Sloane upon learning the truth, and the pawn does Constantine's bidding at the Kiriakis' manse. Maggie tells John and Marlena she and Constantine are engaged. They bristle, but she assures them it's in name only so he can stay in the country. She feels she owes him because of what Victor did and because of what I did to his son. John chimes in. Floundering to do algebra schoolwork in her room, Holly exchanges misused textbooks with Tate. She hides her phone when Nicole stops in. Holly tells her she drank an energy drink to concentrate, but it's just making it worse. Her hands are shaking and she's feeling anxious and weird. Growing further emotional, she clings to Nicole. Frowning, Holly drapes over her bedroom office. She rests her chin on her crossed arms in the square. Sloane intimately watches Nicole and Eric try to soothe a fussy Jude. Their hands touch and their eyes lock. Sloane stomps over and Nicole leaves. Sloane would love to know what that was each about. Eric says he'll tell her at home. More watch when Beau met Hope Indiana, the DiMera doorway. Leo drunkenly tells EJ he has juicy news for him, but it'll bring him. An intolerant EJ pushes Leo outdoors, demanding to know what he has to say. Leo addresses in circles about the Beatles song Hey Jude and how EJ's a father to not 2 children, but 3. Stunned, EJ connects the blotches. At the Kiriakis' manse, Maggie gently reminds John he was only following Victor's orders. She knows Victor would want her to do this, especially since he and Constantine ultimately came musketeers. John muses only because it was more accessible than war. Plus, Constantine still holds a grudge. Maggie says they need to put the enmity behind them and move forward. A stoic Marlena will support whatever Maggie thinks is stylish. Constantine mirthfully joins the group in the living room. He hopes they'll both attend the marriage. Marlena says of course they will. She gets called for a case and Maggie has to meet Teresa, leading Constantine to invite John to stay for a drink. Marlena hesitantly walks out with Maggie. Alone with John, Constantine says it's time to put his plan for the prenup into stir. At their apartment, Sloane smothers over Eric and Nicole working together and looking so friendly in the square. Eric reminds her she walked out on him and Jude before. Sloane was just hurt over his allegations about Leo. She was abandoning their son. Eric apologizes for not being more trusting. He wants to be a better hubby for her. She suggests he start by believing her about her humanitarian motives for helping Leo. A dubious Eric asks if Leo was blackmailing her. She weepily admits he was. She lies that he dug up humiliating information about her history, so she paid him to kill the story. She allowed. Eric would leave her if he set about the verity. Sloane dramatically cries in his arms. She can't believe she let Leo take advantage of her. Eric wouldn't let him get down with this and storms out to kill him. Panicked, Sloane picks up her phone. Outside the DiMera manse, EJ accuses Leo of lying, but Leo explains that his and Nicole's son didn't die. EJ heists and threatens him, but Leo swears it's the verity. EJ releases him. It dawns on Leo he didn't do blackmail right as EJ returns to the manse without paying him. Further day's new MVP outside the DiMera manse, EJ grabs Leo by his jacket. Marlena meets with Nicole and Holly in the DiMera living room. Holly explains how overwhelmed she feels trying to catch up with practice. Marlena has her take a deep breath and encourages her to take walk and music breaks. She should also go to bed beforehand and get some rest. Marlena will shoot her preceptors a note to remind them of what Holly went through. Holly thanks her and goes back upstairs. Nicole confides in Marlena that she can't stop condemning herself for Holly's overdose. Marlena says their kiddies have to go through their struggles and all they can do is be there for them. Marlena asks how EJ feels about Nicole working with Eric. Nicole admits she hasn't told him yet so as not to upset him over commodity so innocent. Detecting Marlena's dubitation, Nicole recalls confessing she might have left EJ had her baby been Eric's. Marlena asks what that means to her. It tells Nicole she's trying to suppress her passions for Eric. When Marlena asks if she still loves him, Nicole ends their session. Alone, Nicole hears Marlena's question in her head about loving Eric. Always, Nicole vocally says to herself. Announcement further. Ariane Zucker's homestretch airdate brings stories into focus with closed eyes. John leans his head against the Kiriaki's wall safe. His hands are on the dial. Konstantin observes. At the Kiriaki's manse, Konstantin uses the card to spark John as the pawn. He instructs him to break into the safe and steal the prenup. As the pawn puts his observance to the safe and spins the cinch, Konstantin hears Maggie returning. He meets her in the foyer to block her, but she bypasses him. Konstantin follows her into the living room, but John is gone. Maggie gets her sobriety chip for her AA meeting and leaves again. Konstantin calls out for John, who produces a train for a beaming Konstantin. Holding a bottle of booze, Leo stumbles into his Salomon room. He berates himself for not demanding plutocrat from EJ before he told him the secret. He ignores Sloane's textbook and falls to his bed. There's pounding at the door. When Leo opens it, Eric grabs him demanding to know about the blackmail. Leo's body goes limp. Further days riddle part cast. Sitting on a Salomon bed, Leo embraces a trash can. Eric stands coming to him. One hand supports Leo's head and the other rests on the trash can. Announcement. Eric helps Leo to the bed and hands him the trash can when he nearly throws up. Eric rubs his reverse as Leo cries over Dimitri. Leo doesn't suppose Eric has the foggiest idea about his heartache, but Eric assures him he does. Leo apologizes for blackmailing Sloane and vows to no way do it again. Eric knows he should detest him, but Leo seems lonely and sad and authentically penitent. All he has is compassion for him. Leo says he has a concession to make and addresses about Jude, but passes out. Holding Jude at home, Sloane hears pounding on the door. She opens to an irate EJ who declares he'll take the child, prove it's his, and have her arrested for hijacking. Looking alarmed, she tries to deny it. He informs her Leo told him Jude is his and Nicole's baby. He's only half right, Sloane says. Jude is Nicole's baby, but not yours. EJ and Maggie both learn the truth. Days of Our Lives daily spoilers for May 6 to 10, 2024. Tease Sloane coming clean with EJ and Maggie catching on to Con. Days of Our Lives spoilers. Sloane gives EJ a big surprise. EJ DiMera, Daniel Feuereagle, now knows that Sloane Peterson, Jessica Surfety, stole Nicole Walker's, Ariane Zucker, baby to pass him off as the baby she and Eric Brady, Greg Vaughn, were set to borrow. When he demands his son back, Sloane drops another stunner. Jude is not his baby. But, he's Nicole's baby, and Eric is his natural father. EJ doesn't want to believe that Sloane is telling the verity, so he demands a DNA sample that Sloane happily gives him. He runs a DNA test on himself and Jude. When he gets the results, will he agree to keep Sloane's secret? After all, Sloane is right. However, also they could lose their consorts if Eric and Nicole knew that they participated a child and that child was alive. This is about to come a whole lot more messy. Maggie knows all. Does Maggie Horton Kiriakis, Suzanne Rogers, catch John Black, Drake Hodgson, in her safe? Or does Maggie find out what Konstantin, John Capellos, has been over to the whole time some other way? Either way, Maggie is furious to know that Konstantin has been playing her and she's determined to fight back in any way that she can. Days of Our Lives daily spoilers. EJ and Maggie both learn the truth. It's a good thing that Marlena Evans, Deidre Hall, and Steve Johnson, Stephen Nichols, have a whole plan to make that be that Maggie joins in on. She isn't about to let Konstantin get down with stealing her fortune. Johnny and Chanel's gestation dilemma. Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, and Chanel Dupree, Raven Bowens, don't know what to do about the baby Chanel is carrying. Thanks to Paulina Price-Carver's Jackie Harry stupid trick, Chanel was exposed to radiation in the early weeks of her gestation, which could mean complications for the fetus.